The race gets underway in Formula E Accelerate, charging down towards turn one, and it's a very good start from Biancalila. He's got the inside line. Yayovsky is going to have to surrender that, isn't he? There's a bit of wheel banging behind, and Risto Capit has a bit of a nudge with Kevin Siggy. They're still side by side for the lead, and somehow Yayovsky is going to just about hold on in front, I think. Very, very tight between them. Biancalila in the Audi still coming at him. They go nose to tail down the back straight. Biancalila in the Audi pulls to the outside, but Yayovsky holds the lead for the time being. Carroll has got up into third place then, ahead of Kevin Siggy. Bono Huis is up into fifth. Golombek and Capit are battling for sixth position. So Risto Capit lost a lot of places. Bit of a traffic jam down at the tricky double right-hander. We're getting sandwiched in the Jaguar there. But Yayovsky somehow still in the lead. I thought that Biancalila had that all day long.
Yeah, but he drove around the outside at turn one, which meant he had the inside line for turn two and turn three, Jack. That's how he managed to keep the lead.
So here they come then, up towards the right-hander of turn 12. There is Kevin Siggy in the BMW. And then they come bouncing over the curbing that brings them out to Basin Bend, the final corner. 25 minutes this race. Not 25 minutes plus one lap, just standard 25 minutes. They have basically half the amount of energy to use. To be precise, they have the same amount of energy to use, but it gets used up twice as fast as in a real Formula E race, which of course is double the race distance here. And there were a few drivers who've never done this before, were messaging on the Discord channels saying, we really have to save this much energy? And everyone was like, yep.
I'm really interested to see if we get on the leader screen there, if we get the energy figures. I'm going to be really interested to see what they are and who saved the most energy over the first few laps.
Yayovsky out in front then by 0.7 of a second. Graham Carroll is in third position. Siggy is fourth. Huis is fifth. Capit, Golombek, Opmeer, Van der Heijden and Gassner, the rest of the top 10. And no real big losers off the line there. There you can see the usable energy remaining on the left-hand side. So Yayovsky, Biancalila and Carroll doing a good job at the moment. A little bit more than Siggy and Huis behind. Risto Capit's been very aggressive in the early stages. And that's the strange thing about leading a Formula E race. I guess you get it in some sort of endurance series, but you don't want to disappear up front because you're sort of using wasted energy. There's Graham Carroll in the bottom left.
Indeed, you don't want to pull away, especially in the races that we do, because what if there's a safety car? You could have saved that energy. But at the same time, especially on tracks where there's long straights, the guy behind can actually save a little bit by being in your kind of aero area within half a second, as second place takes first and second take their first attack mode, Jack.
Yep, so Yayovsky and Biancalila both take their first attack mode then. So we'll keep an eye out on the attack modes that are used, and those are the only two in the field that have done it, so maybe to try and make a little bit of a gap.
Yeah, so they're going to want to get a few seconds ahead of Graham Carroll here. The thing is, there's not too much of a time loss when you go through the loops at New York. It's not like you're going to lose a position. So those two now, they're going to be fighting each other over the next couple of laps. What Graham Carroll's got to do is somehow try and stay with them as much as he can without using too much energy.
How long did it take you to get on top of energy management? And don't do your comedy
7
thing.
years.
Yeah, exactly.
7 years, Jack.
But did it sort of? Are you actually always improving at that, or it took a good year or two?
To be honest, I think season 1 and season 2 especially was so difficult because we were basically doing it blind that was quite a good schooling for me. And since then we've had a lot more help with the teams and software and things like that. But you learn pretty quickly in season 1.
There is Manuel Biancalila then running in second position in the Audi Sport App Schaeffler machine from Syracuse in Sicily. White Lilac is his nickname because apparently that's the translation of Biancalila. There's your fact of the day.
Good fact.
Thank you. He's been sim racing for 6 years now, and he's running in second place behind Erhan Yayovsky as it stands. There's Freddie Rasmussen. So he started down in 16th on the grid. He's managed to get up into 12th spot, and so he's making a bit of progress, but there's a lot of eyes on Freddie Rasmussen because he was 0.3 quicker than the rest of the field in the open qualifiers. That secured him a place on the grid, and it was the first time he'd been driving rFactor 2. Before that, he'd raced in the F1 Codemasters games, and then he'd done a little bit of iRacing here and there, but this is his first rFactor effort. Was super quick there, but was kind of too quick in qualifying here, doing 2 lap times and knocked down the order.
Yep. So we're seeing not too many changes out there at the moment, and we haven't seen the front two pull away too much from Graham Carroll. I mean, quite impressed with what Graham Carroll's done so far, to be honest. The front two are now out of attack mode. The thing is, when is everybody else going to take their first attack mode? That'll be the next part of the race.
The other strategical element in this, well, there's your answer. Carroll and Siggy both use their first attack mode as well as they come out of the final corner. Risto Capit taking his first attack mode too. And as you say, New York is a track that you don't lose as much time as some others that we'll go to later in the year.
Yeah, when we go to places like Marrakesh, where it's on the outside of a corner, Santiago, you tend to lose a second and a half, 2 seconds. Also at Berlin, here it's maybe 1/10, and you're not going to gain a position by doing that. But what you could do is, when someone uses it in front and they haven't pulled away very much, you could then go on the offensive over the next sort of 2 to 4 minutes.
The other differing element here is that there is no safety car to have. So through they come, the left-hander, and Graham Carroll is in attack mode now, and he's right behind Manuel Biancalila coming down into turn one. Carroll goes to the inside, Biancalila squeezes him, but Carroll is through, gets it stopped, up into second place.
Yeah, great move there, Jack. He's waited for them to finish their first attack, knowing that he's got the pace and got the move done. Well done. Now he's got to get after the leader.
So I think Peter Berliak is going to get a 5-second time penalty at the end of this race for avoidable contact. Siggy is past Biancalila as well. Bono Huis is taking his first attack mode. So Biancalila, after looking very racy at the start, is slipping back just a little bit. And we've mentioned it already. We've got 18 minutes to go in the race. You have engineers in your ear telling you when to, when to ease off, when to save energy. These guys have got to just kind of work it all by themselves.
That's the tricky thing. It's so easy to go faster and then just burn through your energy. They've got to be regimented, be consistent, be fast, but not use too much energy. It's such a fine skill, Jack.
17.5 minutes to go. We're on board now with Bono Huis, who's running in 5th position, the man who won the first ever race I commentated on, and he's looking to the inside of Biancalila. Biancalila sees him coming, but that was a bit late in the day from Bono, a bit too far back.
Yeah, far too far back there, Jack. That was never really a full-on move.
17 minutes left on the clock. Another attack mode used for Kevin Siggy. Biancalila went for his second attack mode, but I think he might not have got it. Bono Huis is coming past him, and Biancalila is continuing to slide backwards a little bit. So Kevin Siggy is now in his second of 2 attack modes. Huis has got ahead of Biancalila, who's up into 5th position. Yuyovski's lead is 1.7 seconds at the moment over Graham Carroll. So Siggy is now on the back of Graham Carroll, and he's still in attack mode for a couple of minutes, and there's the move into the Manhattan hairpin. Siggy, the Race at Home Challenge winner, up into second place.
Yeah, fantastic move. I think I pulled a move like that before.
Oh, definitely somewhere.
There we go.
It reminded me of the one in Hong Kong. It was like that one, wasn't it?
No, it was the one on Daniel Abt at the same corner.
Oh, right there.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, great move. He's now got to get his head down. He's in his second attack mode. This is the time where he's got to make it count.
Erhan Yuyovski still has one more attack mode to come. You can see how much quicker Kevin Siggy is going on this lap so far, 1.3 seconds away from the leader. It's the same as Formula E. From 200 kilowatts of power, these cars go up to 235 kilowatts of power when they're in attack mode. Yuyovski takes his second attack mode now then, so he's done that to try and cover off Siggy in attack mode behind. Here's Freddie Rasmussen, who's still in 12th place, uses his attack mode, I think for the first time, attack mode 1, as he tries to get past Olli Pakala.
The leaders are really close now, Jack. Siggy's closed in on him, but as you say, the leader's gone through, and he's now got about a minute more of attack mode than second place Siggy. I love the way that they just throw the car into these corners and let the rear just drift round. It's so fun to watch.
Only 0.7 of a second between Yuyovski and Siggy, but Siggy's going to run out of that attack mode before too long with 15 minutes left on the clock. Then it'll become a bit of an energy battle, but we've also got the likes of Huis, who's still got to take a second attack mode. I think Graham Carroll has only used one of his attack modes as well, so they could come into play later on over the course of the first round of Formula E Accelerate in New York City. 5 more races to come. We've got 2 to come before the first real race of the season in Diriyah, and then another 3 to come after that. Freddie Rasmussen is going to the outside of Olli Pakala. Pakala holding the inside line, holding firm, finished 3rd in the Visa Vegas E-race back in 2017. Carroll uses his second attack mode. Freddie Rasmussen's still in there. They're still side by side all the way through the back corner, and somehow Pakala is going to have the inside line, but Rasmussen's got ahead in the Dragon.
Fantastic racing, side by side, all the way through Sector 1. Really, really fun to watch.
So Yayovsky in his second attack mode. Carroll is in his second attack mode. Can he close in to Kevin Siggy over the next couple of minutes? The 2 chevrons you see next to Carroll's name, that indicates how much attack mode is left, i.e. 2 minutes, and then obviously when it counts down, that is the last couple of seconds. So this is Graham Carroll. He's going to have a really good chance here of getting Kevin Siggy for second place.
He's got a fantastic chance. The leader's checked out. Look at that, 3 seconds nearly on this lap with the attack mode that he used. So, I mean, amazing, but Graham Carroll's on the offensive. Can he get it done into 1? No, he's a little bit too far back, but if he has a good run out of the next 2-3 right-handers, he might have a chance into Sector 2.
Much neater coming through 3. Here they come now out onto the back straight of Bound Street, and he will be tucked into the slipstream here. This has got to be it, hasn't it, for Graham Carroll, looking for second position. Siggy covers the inside, but again, just a little tentative maybe from Graham Carroll, or, you know, a 3rd place. It's a long championship.
Kevin Siggy had that one covered. He did a good job. He is defending very, very hard. Can Graham Carroll get it done into the hairpin?
Siggy's not giving him any room, is he? Carroll now in the Envision Virgin car to the outside. Siggy working really hard. Is there going to be the drive off the corner?
Has he done it? I think he's done it.
It's the outside at turn 11, wheel to wheel, and Siggy holds the place still. Carroll has only got 6 seconds of attack mode remaining, but he might not need attack mode. He's so close to the back of the BMW. Here they come through Basin Bend to start another lap. We're halfway through the race already. And is Carroll going to have a move for second position here? Charging down towards turn 1. No, and it's all about that energy, isn't it? That's the difference now that that's been involved.
What they were doing there, Jack, was not efficient driving. So a lot of defending that would have slowed their minimum speeds down, which means they would have boosted and burnt more energy down the straights. So again, let's see what the energy figures are like when they next come up, but that is not an efficient way to get around a racetrack.
There's Graham Carroll in the bottom left, the man from Edinburgh, right up behind Kevin Siggy. It's good to see him involved in the
and look at the energy. Siggy 47% compared to the leader 50%, 3%. Jack, that's nearly round here, that's getting on for a lap.
Yeah, that's very, very true. So Kevin Siggy could be in trouble come the end of this race. Who else is looking good out there? Jarno Opmeer in 8th place in the Mercedes is looking in a pretty strong position, as is Mark Gassner on 53%. And is this what you do in real life? Do you sort of make a decision to save energy if you're not in the position you want to be, and kind of let the race come to you?
Yeah, sometimes you have to do that. You can't go and burn a load of energy and try and force your way forwards and then have nothing towards the end. You have to kind of sit where you are and see how the race is going to unfold. If you can pick people off, great, but you have to do it quickly. You can't get stuck behind people.
11.5 minutes to go. Across the line comes Jarno Opmeer then, so he, as I mentioned a moment ago, has a good chunk more usable energy than Marius Golombek, than Risto Capit in front, and much more than Siggy, Carroll and Huis in second, third and fourth positions. So this is going to be a fascinating second half of the race for Jarno Opmeer. We're on board here with Jan van der Heijden, who is a very quick racer, finished 6th in the Race at Home Challenge, finished 2nd in Berlin, 2nd in the Race All-Stars Series 3rd season. He also won season 13 of the Virtual Endurance Championship GTE class and was teammates with Jenson Button in the Virtual Le Mans 24 Hours. So a lot of experience for Jan van der Heijden. He's actually got his biggest race of the week tomorrow. He's doing a GT race at Adelaide where he's got to try and beat me somehow. So we'll see how he gets on tomorrow.
Ooh.
He'll destroy
Pressure's
me.
on.
He'll destroy me. Honestly, it's ridiculous. 10 minutes left on the clock. On board with Opmeer. Capit just coming to the end of his second attack mode. And you can see the leaders use their attack modes a lot earlier than those in the kind of mid-pack. Carroll still on the back of Siggy.
Yeah. they've calmed it down a little bit now. I think they realised that they burnt quite a bit of energy on those 2 laps fighting, and they've brought it back a little bit in comparison to everybody else. Now only 1-2% deficit to most of the field, so I don't think there's too much to worry about. But if they continue to fight, then I can see 4th place, Greece, coming to fight them in the near future.
So, Graham Carroll in 3rd position. There's a little look out from Olli Pakala, who now is behind Freddie Rasmussen. So Rasmussen in 11th place. Golombek in Gasner in front is in attack mode. Olli Pakala, the experienced Finn, is trying to get back at Rasmussen. That's not going to work. Around the outside. I thought it was going to for a moment, but Pakala looking every which way possible, trying to get back to the inside, and that he's got Alexander Sims's helmet in that car, Olli Pakala. So that's the helmet that Alex Lynn was slating a little earlier on.
These two have been
that's the helmet that Alex Lynn thinks looks really cool. And it's going to be a bit of contact there for Lucas Muller. He gets a little tap from behind from Nikodem Wisniewski in the DS to Cheetah as they come through the final corner, fighting hard over 13th spot at the moment. But here's Carolini's ahead. So Graham Carroll has got ahead of Kevin Siggy and is up into 2nd place. Looks like the move got done down into turn 1. And Carroll is up into 2nd position. And now they're on about the same usable energy, the top 4 really, aren't they? Siggy maybe still a little bit less.
Yeah. Carroll had that % or 2 extra in hand, and he's used it really well. Presumably he's just kept it nailed into turn 1, used that extra % wisely. That's what you've got to do, Jack, in Formula E. Oh, we see a replay here, I think, of the move.
Oh, I wasn't expecting it there.
He's got it done down into the right-hander, okay. Oh, a bit of contact. Oh. Bit of a glitch there.
Yeah, and so they both have a bit of a slide, but Graham Carroll gets the move done. Meanwhile, Erhan Yayovsky, someone, I can't remember who it was on their sheet, called him the GOAT of rFactor 2, and he's certainly demonstrating that at the moment.
Jack. He's gone. Where's everybody else? He's having a race on his own, Sunday drive.
Exactly. The race on his own challenge, this should be called, for Erhan Yayovsky in the Venturi through the first corner. The 25-year-old from Resin in North Macedonia. And he says that Risto Capit is the main man to beat for him. Capit down in 6th position at the moment. Yayovsky, huge advantage, 4 seconds clear at the front.
And nearly 2% better than the people in 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, this is a really almighty drive from Erhan Yayovsky. You see him there at the wheel in the bottom left. He's got, looks like a curved screen to me that sort of bends all the way round him. Some will be running triple screens, so you have 3 all attached to each other, but Yayovsky's looks like a curve. It's also interesting to see that some drivers sit very upright. Yayovsky in a very kind of GT car position, whereas the sim rigs that you were given, for example, by Playseat for the Race at Home Challenge, very much a lying down single-seater position.
I think that's why I struggled, Jack. I couldn't see over the steering wheel.
It's good that you say these things, not me.
I needed to get mine from Mothercare, I think, or something like that. Anyway.
6.5 minutes to go. Yayovsky bossing this one at the moment. Otmir then, in attack mode, still in 8th place, but right on the back of Marius Golombek. Down the start-finish straight they come, in towards the dock loop at turn 1. Otmir looks to the inside, and that's a nice, clean pass from the Mercedes driver. He's up into 7th place.
Yep, very nice. Nice and clean, decisive. That's exactly what you've got to do in these Formula E cars. When you've got the opportunity, take the opportunity, get it done, move forwards.
Did some real racing, did Jarno Otmir. He finished 15th in the Formula Renault 2-litre Euro Cup back in 2015. Was part of the Renault Junior Academy programme, but he got dropped from that after some difficult results. That 2015 season won by Sasha Fenestraz ahead of Will Palmer, so that was the drivers that he was competing against in real life, Jarno Otmir, and then has become a very successful sim racer, winning the F1 esports series last year, but in this championship on rFactor 2, only able to be running in 17th place at the moment and a little bit too far back from Risto Capit. Here's Kevin Siggy, who, as you said about, what,
Bono
10 minutes
Huis
ago...
has joined the fight. Bono Huis has joined the fight for 3rd place.
Bianca Lila's coming with him, actually. Bianca Lila fell back early on, but look, he's got 2% more energy than Siggy and Huis in the Audi.
Is it enough, though, to make up the positions that he lost early on? I'm not convinced. I think he's left it. I think he did maybe a bit too much energy saving early on, and he's lost too much ground. I don't think he can get up to second, but maybe he's in the fight for third.
How often does that happen in real form? How often do you leave a race going, we were sort of too aggressive with our conserving?
It can happen on the longer tracks, Jack, like Marrakesh and places like that where the energy saving is extreme. It's quite easy to come away from the weekend thinking, gosh, yeah, I left too much on the table early on, or I spent too much early on and then I hemorrhaged places later on in the race. Smaller circuits like Hong Kong, it's not the same.
Siggy and Carroll were under investigation for their little bit of argy-bargy in their overtaking as Carroll got past Siggy, but no further action is being taken, which is good because it looked a pretty robust move from Carroll, but fair enough in sim racing land and probably fair enough in Formula E land.
Yeah, we have a little bit of contact as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yovsky through the final corner then, out across the line. Well, he's already been across the line about 5 seconds ago, comfortably leading this one. Graham Carroll in second place, 5 seconds back, ahead of Kevin Siggy. Bono Huis is now just a second away, but here comes Yovsky again in Norman Natto's Venturi, who will be a rookie this season when the real racing gets underway in Diriyah, or the real life racing, I should say, because this is very much real racing. Bono Huis still had an attack mode remaining, so he's just activated.
We didn't know that.
Yeah,
we did not know that.
He has just activated his second and final attack mode. I'm pretty sure everyone around him has used both of them, and interesting. 3.5 minutes to go. Huis on the charge.
Siggy could be in trouble here. Carroll might be a bit too far up the road. But yeah, 2 minutes is 2 laps basically. He's going to get 4 or 5 attempts to overtake Siggy.
And he's right on the back of him, Bono Huis, who won the 2017 Visa Vegas E-Race, which, well, that was the biggest monetary prize in sim racing history, still is, and a huge amount of money. It was $1 million on the line in Vegas, and Bono Huis got a bit of that, which I think sorted him out nicely. There he is. He looks like he's too small for his chair, doesn't he, a little bit? But nevertheless, he comes across the line, down towards turn 1, and he's not close enough.
Not close enough here, but look, he's going to set him up here, Jack. Nice and neat through 2, 3, and 4, and then let's see what he can do down the back straight. If he gets a good exit here, which he does, is he going to be able to keep it nailed? And is Siggy going to defend?
Siggy comes over very late.
That's very late.
Huis goes to the outside. This is going to be super tight. What a move from Bono Huis. All the way around the outside. Just about gives Siggy enough room. Siggy will have the inside for the next left-hander, but Huis, with the extra power, moves up into third position. He's got half a minute to go. Graham Carroll might be a little too far away, but I didn't think Huis was getting that done on the outside.
No, that's a heck of a move to go around the outside there. I don't think I've seen that in reality. But he's got 13 seconds left. I don't think it's enough to get Carroll, but let's see what his pace is like over the last 2 laps and see if he can close in and maybe put Carroll under a little bit of pressure, see if he makes a mistake. There's still, positions to be made here for the podium.
There's also positions to be made for 6th place because Risto Capit is under a lot of pressure from Jarno Opmeer in the other Mercedes that's charging up the order. There's just 0.3 of a second between them as they come out onto the back straight. I would suspect we're on the penultimate lap of the race. There is Jarno Opmeer up the inside of Risto Capit and gets up into 6th position. So Opmeer has been steadily making progress throughout the race here. Very, very smart drive from the Dutch racer. Biancalila activates his second attack mode. Has he got a shot at catching Kevin Siggy? I think he has.
Yep, he does, absolutely. It's all changed here in the last couple of laps. Look how many people have attack modes left.
Golombek goes through. Now Golombek gets ahead of Risto Capit and up into 7th position, so it really is changing. You can see the dynamics of how different this is and how much strategy is going to play a part in who's going to win Formula E Accelerate. Meanwhile, Yovsky, is going to be starting his final lap at the end of this one. How close is Biancalila to the back of Siggy? Because he's got more usable energy as well. So the battle for 4th is going to be on. There is the Audi of Manuel Biancalila. Looked as though Siggy was a bit out of shape. They're all still queued up behind Bono Huis as they come through now to start the final lap of the race.
Biancalila for 3rd, Jack, what do you reckon?
Oh, for third, that's going to be
for
quite
third.
something.
Here we
Oh,
go.
Bono Huis is under attack. Siggy is now attacking Huis again. Huis could lose both positions here, and he does. Siggy's up into third. Biancalila's trying to hang it on around the outside in the Audi. Huis has his nose up the inside, but Biancalila is going to have the drive down the back straight, but he's all out of shape, has to correct. He's in the slipstream of Siggy. The Audi goes to the outside now. This is the battle for third place on the final lap, and Manuel Biancalila takes it. After slipping back in the early stages, his energy saving has paid dividends, and he's up into third spot. Siggy fourth. Huis goes from a podium position down to fifth place in the space of one corner, really.
It's all come alive in the last 5 minutes, hasn't it? Unbelievable.
Brilliant end to this first Formula E Accelerate race. Biancalila swings it into the hairpin, but Erhan Yayovski is the driver you can see in the bottom left. He's coming now in through the little chicane at the end of the lap, and then swings it into the final corner at Basin Bend. The first Formula E Accelerate win goes to Erhan Yayovski across the line, celebrates in style, and he looks relieved and delighted and satisfied with that win. Carroll comes across the line in second position. Biancalila, great drive actually from the Sicilian to finish in third place. Siggy fourth, Huis fifth, Golombek sixth, Otmir seventh, Gassner, Capit, Rasmussen, the rest of the top 10. Siggy also gets a point for fastest lap. Erhan Yayovski gets the 3 points for pole position that are on offer, and a big swig of drink for Yayovski, because look, we saw a great fight between some of the best sim racers out there, but Yayovski wasn't one of them. He was in his own race, wasn't he?
Yeah, he raced himself today. What a race that was, Jack. I really enjoyed that, and the race came alive. The last sort of 3 laps, we didn't realise the amount of people that had an attack mode left up their sleeves, and it just came alive. So many changes of positions, really fun.
So, winner of the race, the Macedonian, Erhan Yayovski. Another superb victory to add to his list of many, to be honest, and he will be looking very strong. He's now, if he wasn't the man to beat already, he's very much the man to beat going into the remainder of the season. As I say, 2 races coming up on the next 2 Thursday nights before we go really racing in Diriyah, and then another 3 after Diriyah before the remainder of the Formula E season carries on, and we'll bring you up to date with all of that a little bit later on.